Welcome back to our next video for AP Environmental Science Unit 6. In this video we're going to talk about a couple more forms of renewable energy resources. The first we're going to look at is geothermal energy. Geothermal energy is the idea of taking heat that comes from the natural radioactive decay of elements inside the Earth and using that heat to heat water to turn a turbine. Convection will bring magma towards the crust and it heats the groundwater, which allows for this process to happen. The largest producers of geothermal are the United States, China, and Iceland. Oh, no. I guess that's all I've got on that one. What's really important to understand is that you're not going to find geothermal in areas where the crust is too thick. You need a thinner crust layer so that you can get to that hot level. There's certain parts of Nevada, for instance, that have a thinner crust, which allow us to get more geothermal energy, and that's why we see geothermal plants in Nevada, specifically in northern Nevada. So it's important to understand that the location is very important because you can't get geothermal everywhere. There's thicker crusts in different locations. So that's going to bring us to our next energy source that is considered to be renewable, which is hydrogen fuel cells. So a hydrogen fuel cell kind of operates like a battery, but you always add the reactants. So hydrogen and oxygen release energy and water. So by combining hydrogen and oxygen, you're able to produce some electricity and water. Or, well, really, you're producing hot energy, heat, which then can be used to boil water and turn a turbine. One of the drawbacks, of course, is that you do need a supply of hydrogen. We can get plenty of oxygen. There's oxygen in the air. You can burn natural gas and extract hydrogen, but you do release carbon dioxide. You can also use electrolysis, where you use an electric current to split water into hydrogen and oxygen, but you do need a lot of energy to do it. There's also some new theories that maybe using photosynthetic algae and bacteria could be used to produce hydrogen. So some of the benefits, it's 80% efficient. It's pretty efficient. And there are no emissions except for water, because water has to be produced. But of course, the drawbacks do exist. We talked about getting hydrogen. The idea is you have to be able to get hydrogen without expending more energy than you're going to get, because you need the OEI to be high. The distribution network has to be set in place because you need to transport it in a safe manner. And it's hard to use hydrogen fuel cells for vehicles or tanks because there are more chances of fire and explosions. Hydrogen can be a very explosive source if not controlled. And you'll know that if you've seen The Martian. So that's going to bring us to our last energy source that is renewable, and that's going to be wind energy. Wind energy is actually the fastest growing source because it is fairly easy to get. The global wind capacity has gone from under 10 gigawatts in 1996 to 300 gigawatts today. 26% of the electricity in Denmark is actually produced from wind. So some of the benefits here is it's non-depletable, it's free, and it's clean. You don't have to mine anything to get wind. You don't have to do a whole lot. And you can also share wind farms, the land that wind farms are on, with other uses like cattle. Of course, the drawbacks, you do have to store that energy, and the batteries for storing the energy is very expensive and it's hard to recycle. You have bird and bat collisions. We'll talk about birds in a minute. And there are noise and aesthetic issues associated with wind turbines. They're very loud, and some people don't like the look of them. Now, you're going to hear a lot of people that are anti-wind, and they're going to say that wind turbines are killing all the birds. Well, this is the annual estimated bird mortality from different anthropogenic, human causes in the United States. Cats are killing more birds than wind. As a matter of fact, your domestic cats on average per year are killing almost 2 billion cats, or 2 billion birds per year. Buildings are killing birds at a much higher rate than wind turbine as they run into the glass of a building. Vehicles are killing birds at a much higher rate. accidental poison, collision with electrical lines, electrocutions. Okay, only 328,000 birds collide with and are killed from wind turbines per year. That number is a very large number. Don't get me wrong; it's not a good thing, but your cats are killing them at a much higher rate. So we're going to watch this video all about wind energy. Hopefully the source, hopefully you'll hear it. If not, I'll have to post the source. But this video is about transportation of wind turbines. Maybe there is no sound. Basically, this is just a video that shows you the giant wind turbines that have to be transported through an area in order to get them to their final destination. This is another drawback of wind energy, is it's very time intensive, labor intensive, and safety is an issue as far as getting the giant blades of a wind turbine to their final location after manufacture. That brings us to the end of our video to conclude all of our discussion of renewable energy sources. Our final video will be 613, which will be all about energy conservation.